Good afternoon, everyone. This is Coach Matt with our Thursday workout. As a reminder, today is the 3rd of July, and again, today is a purely open gym day at the gym today. However, I expect everyone to have fun and be safe and modify appropriately for these workouts, especially with regard to volume on the exercises we do today, okay? The 4th of July we are closed, and the 5th is open gym from 7 to 9 with one class at 9 a.m. So that's just a reminder on the schedule before we get started with the workout here. So today is a fun benchmark. It's Kelly. We've been doing lots of squatting. We've been doing lots of jumping. We've been doing lots of running. So ideally, we should feel relatively prepared for this. However, it is a higher volume workout, and always be mindful of that when you go into it, to have an end point in your mind and then be ready to be flexible once you get started, okay? So we begin the workout today with 3 rounds, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute of cardio respectively starting each round, and then some single leg deadlift to the knee up position, and then rotate the hip outward, all right? And then go to the next one. Single leg deadlift on the other leg, knee up, hip out, and then step into the next one, okay? So a little bit of balance, a little bit of hip work there, a little bit of hamstring work there. Progressive height power jumps we're gonna do next, okay? So what I wanna do is practice, my first is the power position, and then jump and land. And progressively, I'd like to get higher and higher and higher as I do that, until by the end of it, I'm jumping pretty darn high, okay? Next one is 5 to 8 reps of some medicine ball work. So the workout of the day has wall balls in it. So first round, it would be good to just do some hug squats where I'm holding onto that ball, getting down nice and low, standing tall. Maybe second round, I do a few thrusters with the ball. So now I'm practicing the movement pattern of a squat to an overhead press. And then on the third round, I can practice doing some actual wall balls, getting the rhythm there and feeling good doing it, okay? And then I'm set up for that one exercise as well. Calf, ankle, and foot stretches are also helpful because we're gonna be running a little bit today, 5 rounds of 400-meter run, and then set up your box. Okay, so that's the workout for today. Kelly, 400-meter run. When you come in from your run, we're doing 30 reps of a box jump. So we're launching on top of the box, standing tall every rep, and then either a jump or step down. The prescribed height is the medium high height. Okay, so just be careful on that with box jumps. 24 inches, if that is a stretch for you to get all 30 reps of, maybe consider doing one set lower, like a 20-inch, or you could do the 24 and maybe cut the reps down from 30, cut them to 20, something like that. And then the other one is our wall ball. So wall ball, full depth squat, and then launch to the target, trying to keep your feet planted and finding a good rhythm and a good breath control rhythm when you do that. So both of those are 30 and 30, and then back out the door. So Kelly has the potential to be like a 40-45 minute workout, depending on how you scale it. So it's a great one if you wanna have a partner with, and you guys split up the reps and run together, or if you wanna do 3 rounds of the full 30 reps, or if you wanna do 5 rounds and cut it to 15 reps and do all the runs. There's a lot of different ways you can carve it up to make it more manageable and still have a really good workout for you for today, okay? And that is it for the main workout. There is some extra credit at the end that involves some pulling. So obviously this is optional depending on how you feel afterwards, but if you want to get some extra pulling strength in, the first one is 3 sets of 5 pause pull-ups. So what we like to do on the pause pull-ups is set up the scaling such that you can pause at both ends of the range of motion. So I'm stopping at the top, stopping at the bottom when I do this. So at the bottom, I'm hitting this dead stop. At the top, dead stop. Again, at the bottom, dead stop, and I'm doing that for 5 reps, okay? The next one is called a Pendlay row. The Pendlay row is the same thing as a bent over barbell row, but it just asks that your bar ends, or the ends of the full-size plates, contact the ground, and your back stays in exactly the same position. So it's a little bit further of a bent over position. If you're up here, you will not be able to touch the ground with your weights. So it's essentially the very, very bottom of the Romanian deadlift position with the weights touching the ground. So it's up and then tap the ground. So tap the chest, tap the ground, and I'm trying hard not to jump using my back or my legs to create that motion. And the last one is just a row to overhead press with a wide grip, all right? This is kind of like a muscle snatch, but it should be very lightly loaded. So start with the trainer bar first, and then you can move up from there, right? So 15 pounds is a good weight on this with a bar. Rowing until my arms are parallel, rotating up to over my head, and then pressing to the lockout position. And then bring it down until it just barely doesn't touch my head, rotate down, and then back to the waist, okay? So there's a lot of vertical rowing, external rotation, and then extension at the top, okay? That is our row to overhead press. You could also do this with a pair of dumbbells if you want to, but just make sure your elbows go wide away from your body and you're getting that good full rotation of the shoulders before you press to the overhead position, okay? And that again is extra credit, not required, but it's out there if you want to take advantage of it, all right? Enjoy the benchmark, have a happy 4th of July, and I'll see you guys on Saturday.